Looks much better. Now, about 5 more piles of that. Ooh, there we go. And we can see what that looks like. So, getting things fixed, repaired, since I can't do the shed. Did you find the tape measure yet? Still looking for it, okay. Welcome to Time by the Tent, another weekend here up at the land. Been up here for a little while, got the car unpacked, had to go in the woods and add external antennas to my 2 Tacticams I installed last week. Getting intermittent pictures. We are in a very low cell phone service area, but with those 3.0 Tacticam antennas, courtesy of Tacticam and them sponsoring my weekly Northwoods hunting tips. Got those hooked up, and one has worked, the other one has sent me a picture. I have not been able to load it, but anyway, we got the fire going here, and gonna have vegetarian pizza tonight through the Dutch oven. If you're following along, last week I got everything prepped for the outdoor storage shed, which would be 5 foot by 8 base and 5 foot high, which is going to go over there and take the place of the dome tent. So that is a tomorrow project, because I don't want to get started right now, and I want to just go straight through and get that all done. Prior to that, I've got plenty of other jobs that need to be done. First thing first, I'm going to filter water. We have a filter, a water filter, water purification filter. I'll show you that. We have this tarp, which was over the tent over the winter, off of our support cable, and it was an A-frame, and it shedded the snow and the ice and everything off, so we didn't have to take the tent down. Worked beautifully. This was at courtesy of tarps.com. There's several, I'd say 20 gallons of water in amongst here. So it's good clean water. It's not got tannin in it like the water down in the bog, wetland, pond. I got this water filter from Uzima. They sent this to us last year. Used it. Worked really well. It doesn't take tannin out of water. There is a very specific process in order to take that out. Tannin is not harmful to drink, just gives a aftertaste. It has a taste to it. So that's clean. I'll put the water filter on. The water filter is the same construction as the life straws. That is the base. Here is the top bucket. The filter screws on there, and I will show you that once here I get all this, get a place for it. Going to filter through as much water as I can and fill all of the jugs that I have brought up, wherever those, oh, here they are. And I have a few more 1 gallon jugs. Beautiful day here up at the land. Got the tent windows open. Still got a water issue. It just seeps out from everywhere. See some moisture there. Just the way it is. We had a lot of snow up here, and then it kind of seeped everywhere, even though the tarp was on. But that is minute. That is a minor problem. We didn't have to take the tent down. Everything in the tent is safe. Nothing was damaged. Good shape. So, 68 today, 70 tomorrow. It is warmer again up here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin than where I am from in southeast Wisconsin. So, very pleased with the conditions. So we're just going to try to get as much done as possible and enjoy the time I have up here. Once I get this filter going, I'll show you how that looks. Brought these logs up last weekend to prep so I could cut them for firewood, as our wood pile is very low. So I'll get that cut and stacked, and then next week I'll stack more wood down there and bring more wood up. Just a process. picking up the wood here, as well as getting the pizza crust prepared. Now this is what I'm using. I've done this before and it has worked out quite well in the Dutch oven. I need, follow instructions, half a cup of water, teaspoon of vegetable oil, mix it, let it set for 5 minutes. I'll get the Dutch oven heated up, and then I cook basically I cook the crust, then I put the toppings on in the Dutch oven, and then I cook that until everything kind of combines. The cheese and the tomatoes and the onions and the peppers all kind of combine. I've got to cut the onions and the peppers and get them sauteed first so they're fully cooked. So that's what I'll do. I'm not going to show you, how that looks when somebody cuts peppers and onions, but that's my next step. So I've got the water filtering. I've got water up there, and then you can hear it. I'll show you. There's the filter, and it's just running through, which means it's pretty clean water. It's just filtering through there. It's got a filter the same as a life straw, so all the contaminants will come out of it. And with clean water, about 20 minutes should cycle through about 3.5-4 gallons of water. With the water that's mucky and dirty, it takes hours because it just drips through, and then you've got to back flush the filter, which is a process which you have to do anyway when you're done, but you're repetitively back flushing the filter with all the particles in that when we are doing dirty water instead of clean water. And this is the best, obviously the best way to go is this, catching this water in a tarp and then processing it instead of hauling water in. I am sauteing the onions and peppers, and then I warmed up the cast iron the Dutch oven. I'm going to rub oil in there, stretch the dough out, and then put the lid on and get the dough to rise or cook. And then once I feel that it has reached the time in which I think it needs to be, then I will put the Alfredo sauce on, put the toppings on, put it back in indirect heat on coals in order to get it to cook and congeal. If I remember, I will put in the comments below the video in which I did last year of more in-depth of how I did this, if you're interested in following along. Okay, so I've stretched it out. I'm going to put the lid on it, find some warm coals, and let it cook until it starts to puff up. And I feel that we're at a process, I think, well, I don't want to quote you on what time. You'll have to watch the other video. This came from what used to be Dome Life. Now it's Cody and Kelly. They did a very similar process when they were out camping as well, if you're familiar with them. I will try to put that link as well in the show notes to help you out if you're interested in this procedure. Wood is all cut. I'll use that for fire start in the morning. The twigs and some of the leaves there looks much better. Now, about 5 more piles of that and get it up realistically about here. So we need to go another 2 foot all the way across. This would be pine and big tooth aspen. I have some cherry down there, in which I use for smoking, as well as I'll fill this up here with cherry and any other hardwood I might find down in the low spot down by where we parked the car, and that would be strictly for the coldest nights of the year in that December time frame, because this pine, yes, it burns hot, keeps you warm, but it doesn't last as long as the hardwood. So and then that I've got to bring wood up and split because I'm not too low in there, but I do want to top that back off and potentially build another one of those would be nice, but just need to catch up on the wood cutting. Got really behind because come September through December there's no wood cutting. It's all focused on deer hunting. So archery, muzzleloader, firearm. All right, let's go check on that pizza crust. All right, so I've had it on and off of the twig fell in there. Had it on and off the coals. It has shrunk down now a little bit. It's puffy and it's very warm. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put Alfredo sauce on there. I'm going to take and put cheese, the peppers, the onions. I've got some cherry tomatoes I'm going to put on there. Put it back over the heat until that cheese just kind of forms and melts into everything. And then remove it out of the Dutch oven and cut it open and see what we got. It's just the Walmart garlic bread. This stuff here, 72 cents on the discount reduce rack. So always look there versus $2. And it appears that our pizza has come to a conclusion there. I'll pull that out and show you when I get it on the cutting board. Okay, I'll show you what the bottom looks like. Got a little char underneath there, kind of like a little mom and pop pizza place. I've put cheese, tomatoes, peppers, and onions. Don't have a pizza cutter. Should get a bigger knife. Get a knife with a stronger spine on it. Oh, there we go. There we can see what that looks like. Pizza crust looks fairly firm. I'll let you know when I eat it what I think of it. I'm going to get the garlic bread going. I got to get the stove inside started. Going to be 38 degrees tonight. And I think that's just about it for tonight. So I appreciate you coming along. And I'll let you know how the pizza tastes when I get to that point. The pizza turned out just about as good as you can get it. It's got a nice little crunch to it, just slightly soft on the inside, and then it crackle whenever you bite into them. So I'm very pleased with it. Dutch oven pizza. It can be done at your campsite, no electricity needed, just some, and you can add whatever meat you want, deer or pepperoni, sausage, anything. This was just a sample here until I figured out how to do it the best way before I invested in some additional meat or didn't waste the meat on it. So worked out really well. I will see you in the morning unless something happens, and hopefully nothing happens, so probably see you in the morning. Good morning, my friends. Very nice morning. No dampness, no chill in the air. Supposed to be 70 today here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Last night, while it was dark and I was in the tent, I did hang up the 2 antlers that I found over the years. Now they do make special clips, but I just took 5-inch nails, put them in my framework here over the door, and pinched them in, and they're in good shape. I had them kind of draped on that there, and it kept falling every time the wind would hit the thing. So I figured this was the better way to go about doing that. So that works out well. I got the fire going here, and I'm gonna get breakfast going. Gonna have eggs and probably some of that leftover garlic bread and hash browns, or what they call southern hash browns, the cubed potatoes. So I will show you that when that's all cooked up. Don't need to show you cooking it up because you kind of know how that goes. Hash browns, or those southern hash browns, a little bit of garlic bread, and scrambled eggs. I have pulled everything out from in front of the tent, raked all the leaves out, pulled the logs that go on the lip there. Just try to dry this out a little bit. Haven't cleaned that out, and it doesn't fix it when next time it rains, but it does look better and kind of get a new starting point. I'm not going to do it along the edges. So, all right, we're going to start on this shed here. I'll pull out the dumpster bag so you can see what they look like if you're unfamiliar with that. And then I'll get the post hole digger and see if we can put this thing together. The shed construction is on hold right now because I can't find my tape measure. Now, it was an older tape measure, so if I lose it, there's no value in it. but I have no clue where it's at. I reviewed the footage from last week, and I had my hand chainsaw here and my tape measure there, because I told you that this post there was 15 foot, because I measured it off camera, and I've got the hand chainsaw in my tote that I bring back and forth, but the tape measure nowhere to be found. So can't really build something if I don't have the correct measurements on it. So I guess we'll just kind of bypass that, and you'll have to wait until next week to see how that shed turns out. That's kind of disappointing. I don't know where that would have went. All right, let's figure out then. I'll put all this back because all that has dried. That looks good. I'll tidy all of this back up. Yeah, I'm not. Have you seen the tape measure? I don't know where it has disappeared. So I've looked for it for a half hour. That's my cutoff, and I'll work on another project. I had this lawn chair that was given to me, and I sat in January, came up here, and this aluminum front just crumbled. I can't really show you because, anyway, so it was just, it was broken here. So instead of throwing away, I took a piece of trim that I had left over from the door and fastened it with 4 screws, 1 5/8, and it's very comfortable. It supports me. Didn't have to recycle it, and that is fixed. I can put it around the campfire and it'll be good. So yeah, just a piece of, I guess that's 1 by 2 or whatever it is, but nice and good and firm there. So getting things fixed, repaired, since I can't do the shed. Did you find the tape measure yet? Still looking for it. Okay. All right, that one's done. I got the front of the tent all put back together. I also put the beam up that I had left over just to add more stability here. Just strengthens it up a little bit. So now I've got to get this bag here, which is a pet supply bag that they deliver product in, canvas bag, and fill it up with leaf debris for the addition to the backstop of my bow target way back here. And this is going to be reconstructed as well, as Holly has recently purchased a crossbow for hunting this fall, and her feet per second on her crossbow is 390 feet per second, and my compound bow is like, I don't know, 175 at best on the high end. So this target here is not, I don't feel comfortable having her shoot through it, because it's an old target, and I think, based on what I've read and done research on, 340 is about the max that target will handle. So I've got this tree back here that has fallen because I was muzzleloader practicing and hit the tree and snapped it in two, and I got to get rid of it. But what I'll do is very similar to what the deer hanger is. I will take tree post 5 foot, put 2 in the ground, same on this side, make it about 52 inches wide, and then I can hang both targets, her crossbow target, which I can also use for my compound bow, and then the target I have there, and make it on a miniature version of this permanent post, cross beam, and then get 2 additional J hooks in order to screw into the log for the hanging of the target. I have these IKEA bags, this old cloth here which is disintegrating, which I knew it would. That's one. I've got to take all of that out. I'm going to clean this area all out, refill these, restack them, and I'm wanting to get more, but the IKEA bags online are 2 for $14, and I can get essentially the same material in sandbags, but I can get like, what is it, 10 of them for $15-16. So I'm still figuring out what the best move on that is, but that's my next project right now, since the shed is no longer an option. I'm going to cut that tree down, throw that to the side, we'll burn that, and get this all cleaned up. I have stacked them up. I do have that tree that I cut down and used the top portion back here as a support, and then the bottom portion that was in the ground over there as a support over there, just to keep them from falling backwards. I've got to put the cloth on it, and then the concept would be where that target is there, move it over about 6 more inches to your left, and have a whole beam going across, and having the other target right here. And I believe, based on the target I'm looking at, I could hook both of them together on one hook, to compact them so they're, you know, just right against each other. I'll have to look. If not, I can put them, you know, really close. But that would be the backstop. The goal is never to hit through it, but I have shot through and missed the target, and the arrow has stuck in those IKEA bags. Those were not purchased. Those were all given to me. If you have straw, that works just as well. Do 2 bales of straw, too thick, and so you need 2 for probably 12 bales if you're concerned about shooting through based on your poundage. But I don't have access to straw on the farm. I did. Plus up here you've got strings, and I don't think the longevity would be as with that one additional canvas bag on the bottom. I will not need to purchase any online, any of the canvas sandbags or additional IKEA bags. So that's good that gets me up the height that I need. And that was all free. The pallet was free, the lumber around free. The target was actually $10, and at a yard sale they had marked at $15, but of course I'm going to ask for a lower price. And he said, I said, would you take 10 for the target? He goes, yes, it's my son's. I'm not hauling back down to the basement. I'll get, you can give me 10 for it. So that was in summer of 2023. For lunch, I'm trying to eat the rest of that garlic bread. Got some hot dogs going, as well as baked potato that I was given. That's one of them store-bought or market-bought ones. Just got to warm it up. Now, it may not seem like to me I've done a whole lot, but maybe you watching it looks like I've done a whole lot. But just since we can't find the tape measure, it seems like that kind of really slowed everything down. But I'm still filtering water. I'm going to work on getting a trail, clean a trail out to get down to the back side of the tent, to get across the ATV trail to get to the other side. So I'll get partially that done. Still odds and ends that really don't make exciting, riveting video, but kind of show what I'm doing, so that maybe you can glean a little bit from it and apply it to your campsite or your homestead. This is the trail that goes up to Holly's Secret Garden that way. This goes 75 yards down a hill and I'm creating steps in that hillside to get across the other side of the property. There's the tent, and all I'm doing is throwing the leaves back, and then I'm going to cut back all the saplings like that one, so there's nothing that's going to get caught when either one of us walk. I've only gone to that tree right there just to get a starting point and trim all of these saplings back. There's a lot there. And then where that stump is, right there, is just to the left of it is the spot where we go down, and I'm creating the steps. I will show you since we're so close. I will finish the trail off at a later date. I'm basically just following the tracks in which the loggers made 20 some odd years ago when they just rutted this all up to harvest. This is what we're looking at. I've got it's really nice right now. It's still very soft and moist, and then you go down there, walk across, and I'll have a trail going right to where that blind is going to be. But I've got to come in here and level these off and then put block each step off in order to keep it from washing out. So we've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and I've got to figure out like if we need to do a big landing here or what's going to be best. I'll clear all that out, but it's not bad right now. And then I will have for Holly a handrail that will go probably just beyond that, or I don't know which side she wants it on, because I can start it, mount it here and go down that way probably to where that tree's laying and put 3 stakes in there for it, because that tree there is dead, so work in progress. Got to get to the trail first, and then I cut these temporarily out just to see if I could, how hard it would be, and it looks like it's gonna be fairly easy. I just got to cut a couple of roots there, but a little bit at a time. All right, that is fairly good. A few pieces here and there that I've missed. Other than that, all the big stuff is out of the way. Going with the path of least resistance, with the lay of the land, and should work out quite well. Still filtering water, done about 7 gallons so far, still quite a bit out there, but it works very well. Very happy with it. Sure beats hauling it from the house 3 hours away to up the hill to the tent here. I have also added a few additional things. I did put this brace in here, and then I made this a long time ago to house just bottles of stuff, deer scent repellent, human scent eliminator, some deer attractive, bear spray, tick repellent, and then over here, tired of looking for the duct tape when I need it, took and cut a limb with another limb on it and screwed it to the brace here. So got that accomplished. The last couple of weeks, this is the 4th week this year we've been up here. I've been up here. We had turkey. First week Holly and I were up here, then it was turkey camp, and then Holly and I were up here last week, and then I'm up here this week. We've just kind of really brought a lot of things up and dumped them, in which we have, here's what we're going to take to the land over the winter months. So slowly and surely it's coming together, and it's what it is. It's a tent, it's not a cabin. I understand that, and kind of that's the process in which we look at it. Well, I'm packing up, getting ready to go. Found the tape measure right there. The sun was reflecting off of it. It's not the greatest tape measure, as you can see, but it sure is functional. So I don't know how it got over here. If I laid it there when I was unloading, I don't know. So we found the tape measure. Appreciate you coming along. If you've made it this far, let's put found in the comments below, because we found the tape measure. We had plenty of other jobs to do besides put the shed up. We can do that next week. That's not a big deal. There's always plenty of things to do. Would have liked to have it done, but got the target done, got that trail partially done. I got some things done in the tent, and it's coming along quite nicely. So until next week, or until next time, I'll see you then.